Okay. Um, Hi, my name's Terry. I'm here. It's my second video. Hopefully, you guys can hear me a little bit better. I'm hoping that it goes good. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about distractions in our lives and what the Bible tells us and what Yeshua and Yahweh tells us about this. I have my Hallelujah scriptures here. I have my Big Sefer over here, and I got my notes. So let's see how well this goes. Um, First, we're going to open up. I always open up with a prayer, and with this being my second video, I want to make sure that I reiterate that everything, when you're talking about coming into the presence of God, of Yahweh, it's always good to say a prayer first. So we're going to do that. Father Yahweh, we thank you for this great and abundance day that you have given us. We thank you for allowing us to be here to celebrate this Sabbath. We just ask that you watch over and bless all those around the world, Father, and just let them be at peace and let them be relaxed and let them meditate and remember all the things that you have done for them. This we pray in Yeshua's name. Amen. Okay. So first things first, we're gonna go to Matthew 6:24. Matthew 6:24, and that says, "Oh, come on." And that says, sorry, and that says, no one is able to serve two masters, for either he shall hate the one and love the other, or else he shall cling to the one and despise the other. You are not able to serve Elohim and wealth. This is going back to the money is the root of all evil. Okay, the love of money is the root of all evil, but people get that misinterpreted a lot because people say, well, how can something made of paper be evil? Because man made it evil. The love of the money makes it evil. If you take that money away, give it a year. Take the money away for a year, and people will still survive. We will still survive. It's just we won't have a lot of bank robberies. People dying over money. But money itself is a distraction because we're always working towards that. We always need that. We got to pay our taxes. We got to pay our car notes. We got to pay our insurance. We got to pay our rent. We got to pay our light bill. We got to pay our water bill. We got to go get shoes. We got to pay for the kids to go do extracurricular activity. We got all these things that money is needed for, and it distracts us from what we should be doing and what we should be paying attention to in our everyday lives. And a lot of families don't have that because it's easy to get distracted by money because you need money. Everybody needs money. Relationships are a distraction, and the reason why I say relationships are a distraction is because when you're out and you're looking for a date and you're looking for that good girl, that special guy, you're distracted. You're distracted because you're looking for your partner. You're looking for a girl that has the prettiest smile, or she has beautiful eyes, or you're focused on making sure that you please her and that she is everything that or you're everything that she wanted you to be, and she's doing the same thing. She's trying to be everything that you wanted her to be. You guys everybody want to live up to each other's expectations. Movies are a distraction. Sex and porn is a distraction. Religion is a distraction. And religion is one of the biggest distractions out there right now. Temptation is a distraction. Temptation, it goes back to the beginning of time. Adam and Eve. Eve was tempted, and God told Adam exactly what the rules and the laws was, but yet Adam told Eve, and Eve went on ahead and fell into temptation, and look at where we are now. So that's obviously a distraction. It's keeping anything that's a distraction is keeping us away from the will of God and what God wants us to be and what God wants us to do. So we have to pay attention to these things, and not only pay attention to these things that I mentioned, but pay attention to things in our life that that can come in as a distraction. It can be okay. It could be an accident. You might get into a car accident, but everybody's fine, and now you're distracted from what God had intentionally putting in front of you, because now you hit a roadblock. Boom. Now you're mad and you're upset, or you're worried about your car and how you're going to get to where you got to go. Don't worry about that. Make sure everybody's fine. As long as you're alive, everything's going to work itself out. As long as you stay focused on God's will in your life. Like, for an example, me and the kids were in Florida. We didn't know anybody in Florida. We were staying in a hotel, and I was working at a real nice bar. But we were staying in a hotel, and we've been to Disney World and all that good stuff. Everything was going good, and then the hotel caught fire, and the whole hotel burned. The kids lost bikes and toys and paperwork, but I was able to pull out my suitcase that had our birth certificates and social security cards and stuff in there. I was smart about that. And never once did me and the kids cry. Never once did me and the kids cuss anybody out. Never once did me and the kids lose faith that God was going to pull us through. We knew what was going to happen. We knew that God was going to pull us through this. Well, by the grace of God, by the next day, we were in another place. We were able to replace the bikes that they had lost, and the clothes that they had lost, and had enough money to get another hotel room for a couple months, free. And I even got a pair of shoes from the Lakers. Who would have known? So I mean, not the Lakers, but the Magics. Sorry, Orlando. The Orlando Magics. I wasn't expecting that, but we have to understand that distractions may come in any shape or form, but it's up to us to understand and to keep our minds set on the things above, because the things above is what's important. Yeshua, Jesus, he was tempted by the devil himself, but was never distracted. Never distracted. Matthew 4:1. Matthew 4:1. Then Yeshua was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tried by the devil. And after having fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the trier came and said to him, "If you are the being of Yahweh, which is the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But he answered, saying, "It has been written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of God," or the mouth of Yahweh. Then the devil took him up into the Kodesh city, the most high city, put him on the edge of the Mikdash, and said to him, "If you are the Son of Yahweh, throw yourself down, for it has been written, he shall command his messengers concerning you, and so that you do not dash your foot against a stone." Yeshua said unto him, "It has been written, you shall not try the Lord your Elohim." And the devil took him up on a very high mountain and showed him all the reigns of the world and their esteem, and said to him, all these shall I give you, if you fall down and worship me." Then Yeshua said unto him, "Go, Satan, for it has been written, you shall not tempt the Lord your Elohim, and him alone shall you serve." See, now, all these distractions, all these temptations that's being thrown out, he never lost faith. He never lost focus. Stayed focused on God. Stay focused on our Father. He will set us free. He will make things work out in ways that you would never think of. Sorry. He will make things work out in ways you never think of. Sorry about that. Second video, still, I don't know. Okay, anyway. But he will, God, Yahweh will make things work out in ways that you would never think possible. I got another example. Last year, this time last year, I was in a shelter. I was in a family shelter, and it was just me and the kids. And I was working and going to the shelter. And in the shelter, the part of the program was you had to look for housing every day, and you had to look for work every day. I already had a job, so I didn't worry about that. But I still had to work, had to maintain the job, and go and see a house every day, regardless of whether my time permitted it. And I had chores that had to be done that day. And if I didn't get the chores done, then I got written up and you can get kicked out. Well, I did it. Went to see a house, but the house is down every day. I did my chores every day. Went to work every day. And I was even picking up extra shifts. I was overwhelmed, yes, but never once did I falter. I prayed every night. I still had God the head of my house. Because even though I didn't have a house, he was the head of my family. As long as you keep God at the head of everything that you do, everything will work out. I wasn't getting anywhere. Everywhere in Lansing said, no. But eventually, it happened. And it happened in the most craziest way because all the houses that was in Lansing were okay. They wasn't in the best neighborhoods. And I've always wanted to live out in the country. Well, everybody in Lansing said no. One place said yes, and it was in St. John's, which is where I'm at right now. And all the houses in Lansing, there was no 4-bedroom houses. Okay, there was no 4-bedroom houses, and they were all expensive. They were $850 or above, and it was within my range. But they all said no for some reason. So, what me and the kids were getting closer to our leash, the cutoff date for the shelter to kick us out. But we prayed this one night, and we thank God for allowing us to be in the shelter and giving us a roof over our head and a place where we can eat and food for our stomach. And we were thanking God for the car that we had, because we didn't have to have a car. We just happened to have the car. And thanking him for the job that he had. And Lord and behold, out here where I'm at right now, they said yes. This is a 4-bedroom. This is a 4-bedroom house. 4-bedroom house. Nice plush backyard. We have a lot of space back there. I have a deck I have a deck. I got a nice shed, and I'm starting to actually do my garden and everything now, and I'm doing flower beds. Who would have known? Who would have known that God would have blessed me and my family with a 4-bedroom house? It's only 3 of us. We blessed us with a 4-bedroom house. Okay, we didn't have to pay rent for a year. I still, right now, to this day, and this is a year later, I still have a credit on my consumers bill. I haven't paid consumers in over 8 months, and I still have a credit. I don't understand how that happened, but I have it. It's there. All the things that God is doing for me and my family, that's my testimony. This is our testimony. All you have to do is believe, trust in God on His word, and things will happen. But we cannot allow ourselves to be distracted with the things of everyday life. Okay, this is all I'm saying. Don't allow yourself to be distracted, and don't allow those distractions to hinder your relationship with God. Matthew 11. Okay, now we go to Matthew 4, 11. Oh, no, I already read all that. Sorry. Don't mind me. We must be ready to stand firm in our beliefs. If we can't stand firm in our beliefs, then God's word will not work for us. We have to stand firm. We have to stand bold in front of anybody and everybody, including the devil, because the devil's going to attack you at any given time on any which front. He will attack you through your kids. He will try to attack you through your wife. He will try to attack you through your mom. If you are surrounded by people that are living in this world, then they become living weapons for the devil to distract you from your goal. You cannot allow that to happen. You have to stay focused. This is what I tell my kids every day. Don't allow the kids around you to get you in trouble. Don't allow them to allow you to lose focus on what task you're doing. We must know that God is at our head and let Him run our lives. A lot of times we hate the fact that, or we hate to admit the fact that we are only human. We don't know what destiny holds for us. We don't know. We just don't know. Everybody wants to believe that we create our own destiny, but the truth is, God knows what your destiny is. It is predestined. Okay? We have free will. Yes, we do. But it's those choices that we make is what determines the path that our life unfolds in front of us. And based on those decisions is what God is gonna, because God allows things to happen in our lives. Don't get me wrong. God allows things to happen in our lives. Yes, He does. Every day. Hands down. Don't doubt it. He allows it to happen so He can see what the questions is that, what decisions that we're going to make. He wants to know whether or not we are going to stand firm in His teachings, in His word. And there are those who falter. I falter sometimes, I'm not going to lie. I am not perfect. No one is perfect. Everybody gets distracted at some point in time in life. And it depends on that person to come back and gain focus. Okay, this is what this video is for, is to wake you up. If you felt like you've lost focus, or you lost your place with God. Let's say a couple years ago you were doing good. God was talking to you, and then now you fell off the bandwagon. You're drinking, or you're smoking, or you're not where you think you need to be in order for God to work with you. You're being distracted. You're being distracted. Don't think about that. The only thing you need to focus on is God. The only thing you need to focus on is Yahweh's word, and that's it. Get into your Bible, meditate on God, meditate on the commandments, meditate on the instructions that He leaves behind us. Meditate on the everyday things that we do every day that we don't think about, that is a distraction to us. The shows that we watch on TV is a distraction. The cartoons that we allow our kids to watch is a distraction. The fun of having quads and boats and going fishing and building things, they're all distractions. Yes, building things and going fishing and stuff, that's fun. I'm not going to say it's not fun. I love fishing. I actually just bought a fishing pole, and I'm waiting to go and use it. But we have to understand what a distraction really is. And then we have to bring ourselves back to focus so that we don't allow the distraction to take away from Yahweh. Now we're gonna go to Philippians 4:13. And last time I flipped to this, it took me a minute because it's so small. I'm gonna go to my Sefer actually. Oh, here it comes. Thessalonians, Titus, Hebrews, Ephesians, Philippians. All right. I said Philippians 4:13. Oh well. I love this verse. And it says, I can do, sorry. And it says, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. I have strength to do all in Messiah, who strengthens me. If we call upon His name, Whenever we feel distracted and cut off, we will be in a better place. We will be in a better place. And that's the problem. That's the problem we have right now. Is everybody everybody seems to only call when they're in trouble. When they're in trouble. They don't understand that every day is a battle. Every day is a battle. Not just today. Not just because you got an accident, not just because you're having a bad hair day, not because you're just in one of those moods and you can't get out of it. When you're in one of those moods and you can't get out of, that's the devil. That's the devil telling you that you are not going to be joyous, that you are not going to be happy, that you are not going to be focused. Not today. And instead of understanding this and realizing this, a lot of people just run with it. And they're like, today is just not my day. Y'all better stay away from me. I see it on Facebook all the time. See it on Facebook all the time. I deal with it on a daily basis. Okay? Like, I'm not talking about I deal with it on Facebook. I deal with it on a daily basis. Is what I'm saying. Okay? So it's not just I'm not preaching, or I'm not talking to a specific group of people. I'm talking to everybody. Because I'm in that group. I'm part of that group. Okay? And we all have our problems. especially when we talk about being distracted, because a lot of times you get a lot of people that want to bring out excuses, or why don't you go to, because everybody has a reason why they don't go to church, or why they don't go to an assembly, or why they don't go to Catholic gatherings. I don't know what the Catholic call it, but or why they just don't, or why they can't focus on just God, or read the Bible, or watch a couple gospel movies. And these are just a couple that I've heard in my time. Okay, oh, well, I have a short attention span. Okay, you have a short attention span, but you're more willing to go watch a 2-hour movie than go to an hour of church, or go to an hour of an assembly of Yahweh. Okay, you have a short attention span, but you're more apt to go and do something that seems more fun. That's the problem. Okay, we need to understand that it's all just one big distraction. We need to understand, like, we need to want to understand God. Like, we want that new promotion, or that we want that new that bachelor's degree. Short attention span is not a good excuse. Depression, not a very good excuse, because I have depression. It's one thing it's one thing to have it, but it's another thing to use it as a crutch. I have depression. Yes, I do. You ask my wife, she'll tell you I have depression. But see, the difference between me and other people is I let people know, like, I'm feeling depressed right now. Don't know why. So, don't take anything that I say or do to heart. And I don't try to do anything that makes people upset. And because when I'm depressed, I get irritated real easily. I get irritated about a lot of things real easily. And so I tend to say to myself, and I think to myself, I ask myself questions. Why am I depressed? What is this? And I pray. I ask God to help me in the moment of depression, because only God can give you the joy to overcome that. Only God can give you the joy to overcome depression. Everybody, all these pills out here, distractions. Why? Because these pills don't help you. 98% of these pills do not help you. They help monitor your symptoms. They make you feel like you're doing better, but you're really not. You still have that depression. It's not going to go away. And they will tell you it's not going to take it completely away, but it'll dampen the symptoms. And all the while, a lot of these people get addicted, and that's another distraction. This world is built with distractions. Okay? Built with distractions. We need to understand that everything that we were taught is a distraction. Everything that we wasn't meant to live like this. We wasn't. We wasn't meant to get our meat from a grocery store. And meat wasn't meant to be mass produced for millions like that. It wasn't. It wasn't meant to be none of that. Because you get a lot of these chickens and animals that die for no reason whatsoever because the meat go bad and they get tossed out. That's just wasting a life. But nobody thinks about this because now in society the animals' lives are actually worth nothing. They're worth money if you have a farm. They're worth money if you're gonna go buy one. But if you go shopping at the grocery store, these grocery stores, these big chains, they don't care. The meat couldn't even be old, won't even be old, and then just throw them out like boom, it's extra produce, boom, throw it out, boom. Oh, it's still good, but it's past the date that we're willing to sell it by, so we're gonna throw that out in the trash too. Because we have all these homeless people, all these families that don't have much. So don't be distracted by the things in this life when you can do things now to help others. This is going on for 26 minutes. But this is what I want to leave with everybody, whoever watches this, is do not be distracted by life. Time is running out. Yes, at one point everybody was distracted, but there's an awakening happening right now. And I believe that Yahweh is calling on us to continue that awakening, to continue to spread the word, to continue to spread his instructions, because it has been trampled on by the heathen, and it has been kept a secret for so long. Religion is never meant to be a religion. Religion has been to distract you from the truth, and it has been successful for many years. But I urge you, do not be distracted by the things that happen to us every day. Keep your eyes and your mind focused on Yahweh at all times, because through him, all things are possible. Amen.